All right, gamer time. Fuck it, we ball. This is how I got everything I wanted. So I'm feeling pretty shredded today. I went to the gym. Let's turn this a little bit. Went to the gym. Let's move this camera actually. Right over here. Perfect. Fucking shredded. Basically, this is exactly how I got everything I wanted. See the whiteboard. How I got everything out of it. So I'm living in Florida. I have big muscles. I'm fucking shredded. Explosive force production, low body fat percentage. I got insane lettuce. I fucking rub beef tallow all over my skin every day. That's why I'm fucking so tan. Fucking like a golden god. So basically, this is how I went from a fucking chronically unsuccessful, lazy, weak, feminine, fucking just weed smoker who wasted all of his time sitting around in the same place just consuming social media, and eventually I turned into this turned into a golden god. So you may look at me and you say, well, he doesn't have everything, he's not perfect, but I have more than you. I have more muscle than you, I have more testosterone than you, I have more energy levels than you. So right now I'm gonna drink my gallon of milk. Move this camera just a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. All right. Shred. So basically, organic cigarette. So, what would I contribute to my success? So basically, I lived in Massachusetts, and then I got so sick and tired of being in the cold, not being in the sun, I got so bored. I was like, dang, why is Massachusetts so cringe and boring? And why can't I live in Florida in the sun all day and just be as shredded as possible and spend every single minute outside and never cut my hair and not consume any chemicals at all? This is an organic cigarette, no man-made research substances in here. Drinking fucking raw milk and shit, rubbing beef towel all over myself. I pretty much tried to escape any type of refined substances. So the reason I'm making this video is because for a long period of my life, I was pretty much trying to avoid and run away from and like escape, and I was afraid of chemicals, like whatever it was. Like if I drank pasteurized milk at the store, I would like throw a fit. You know what I'm saying? I would be reading the back of labels like, oh, it has a chemical in it, I can't eat it, and I would throw it away. And the funny part is like, the more delusional you are and the fucking more racist you are and the higher your standards are and the less tolerant you are of fucking being average and just consuming chemicals, the farther you're gonna go. And man, I'm shredded. So the reason I'm making this video is to tell you how I did it. So this day and age, it's extremely difficult to actually remove and live a life where you are free from all those chemicals. Like if you want to have a perfect diet, God, I'm fucking huge. If you want to have a perfect diet where you can do no wrong, dude, that's fucking epic. That fucking bird just caught a fish. I don't know if you can see that. Let me show you. Sigma bird. Hope he's got a fish in his mouth. Down there. Isn't that crazy? So he's holding a fish in his mouth. Apex Predator. What a great video. I'm such a good YouTuber. I never get distracted. All right, let me fix this camera. Okay, that's good enough. So, how did I achieve all of these things? Well, having a crippling weed addiction, I wasted tons of time scrolling on social media. I wasted tons of my gray matter in my brain and my youth and just my overall, just my health, right? And you must be saying like, oh, how is this guy smoking a cigarette? He's supposed to be Mr. Health. He's supposed to be Mr. Sun, Mr. Natural. Tell me what's more natural than an organic plant grown from the ground, no pesticides, no chemicals, and American spirits, baby. I have one cigarette after dinner because that's the game. Why not? Can't hurt, right? If you train hard every single day, you don't got to worry about little vitamin C, you know? So, what's the point of this? The main point is I have achieved something 99% of people in the world will never achieve. Today I walked into the gym, I deadlifted 315 for 7 reps, which is pretty good. And like about a week ago, a couple days ago, I deadlifted 405 for 1 rep. And this is not an exaggeration, not to go Jew mode on you, but that puts me in the top 1% of strength on this planet. And you can say, oh, but he has bags under his eyes, he has acne, and he wastes time sometimes. He's not a millionaire. He's not perfect. He's not the richest, most famous man on the planet. But what I am is the most delusional man on the planet. You understand? So, like, the placebo effect is one of the only things I believe in. There was a moment in my life where I was afraid of chemicals, I was afraid of processed foods, I was afraid of anything that wasn't organic, I was afraid of anything with pesticides, I was afraid of anything that wasn't grass-fed, I was afraid of everything. I was like, oh no, let me just be a little Jew and only eat something that's gonna like only give me perfection and only give me good stuff and no bad stuff. There's no such thing as perfection. The only thing that is perfect is your imagination, because you were created in the image of God. Your mind is always gonna flash an image of what it thinks is gonna happen based on your emotional heart rate, your nervous system. See, I'm shredded. I worked out today. I'm having some cigarette. If a fucking twig snaps over there in the pond, or I hear a fucking, like, if I hear a bird or I hear something, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god. I'm not gonna, like, flick over there and be all, like, afraid, right? I'm a big, extremely powerful man with power, right? And how you do one thing is how you do everything. So basically, how is it that I smoked so much weed, I wasted so much time, but now I live in Florida and I spend all the day outside in the sun, and I'm one of the most shredded people to walk this planet, and I have amazing hair, but I just got to fix my face hormones a little bit. That's the only thing. So the reason I did all of this is because I had the insecurity in my brain that I was sick, that I was wasting energy by smoking weed, and I was slowing myself down, sitting in the same place. And it's because of the deep-rooted insecurity inside of my brain, the insecurity that I will never be good enough and that everybody hates me and that I'm a disgusting weed smoker or whatever it was. The greater the insecurity, the greater the strength needed to overcompensate. So you may look at a man like me and you'll be like, well, that guy, he's surely insecure. And it's like, yeah, I'm the most insecure man on the planet. Why do you think I fucking do so many push-ups and I'm so shredded and I like behave the way that I do and I act completely irrationally all the time? I'm the most insecure man on the planet. And that's a good thing, because the greater the insecurity, the greater the strength. So one of the big things that I learned was that the more dense nutrient foods you eat, like steak, beef, more steak, more beef, cow milk, eggs, butter, bacon, shit like that. Like fatty animal fats. Animal fats are the densest nutrient known to man, right? So carbohydrates, think about it from an evolutionary perspective. If you are a fucking, let's say you're a monkey living in Africa, and every day when you get hungry, you can go off a tree, just pick some fruit, eat it, whatever you want. Sugar and carbohydrates in plants are common. They are everywhere. The actual requirement to eating them is small. It's easy, it's effortless, it's common. Therefore, it is not valuable. And that's from an evolutionary perspective. Think about like the biggest, fattest, like giant gazelle or a giant buffalo, and you stalking it down with your tribe, and you fucking like hurl a spear and you kill that shit. It's a much more rewarding, fulfilling experience, more dense nutrients. Animal fat is part of the reason why the modern world was built. It's part of the reason why the modern world was built. So like races of people that evolved. I'm not even going to try to pretend I'm not racist. I'm so racist, it's crazy. So groups of people that evolved in the northern hemisphere, where it was very, very cold, where there was not an abundance of carbs everywhere. If you were a white skin, you evolved in the winter months. You have a primed in your brain to absorb the animal fats. You are literally designed to consume the fucking fat of the biggest animal you can find. So not to go Jew mode on you, but I think it's every gram of carbs has like four calories or something like that, and every gram of protein has like 6 calories, but every gram of fat has 9 calories, right? So fat is the most nutrient dense thing. So riddle me this. Why is it that people that eat lots and lots of protein and fat end up being extremely shredded and lean? And why is it that people that stuff their faces with carbohydrates and shit every second of every day are fucking big and globulous and obese? Think about it this way. If you're eating tons of fat, your body is going to optimize for, okay, let's remove this fat because we have an abundance of fat. I eat fucking so much saturated fat. The government will tell you, if you look up on Google, it says, saturated fat is bad for you. Saturated fat causes disease. Saturated fat causes this. Bro, saturated fat is the only reason your white ancestors conquered the entire world. It's because they had to adapt, and that's how they evolved. There are groups of people like Eskimos way up north. I forget where I read this, but it's like they evolved to only eat the fucking carcasses of animals. They're evolved to eat raw meat, not like carbs and shit. So like, obviously everybody can understand this at a base level, but nobody can actually use this in the modern world in 2025 to achieve a result that they want. So for me, I wanted to be extremely shredded. When I was in middle school, I was a big, fat, chunky motherfucker. I ate lots of candy. I remember every Halloween was terrifying for me because I was very insecure about how much food I was eating. And the one memory I have from middle school, I was sitting at the lunch table with all the soccer kids because I fucking wanted to blend in with the soccer kids and I wanted to be popular back then. They were all super skinny. They ate tons of candy every day. They ate shit. They ate carbs all the time. But if I did that, I would get big and fat. So then this created an insecurity in my brain. It created an ego that I am better than everybody else. I have better genetics. I am bigger. I am more powerful. They are just simply weak and skinny. And I carried this with me all throughout high school, all throughout college. Well, the year that I went before I fucking failed out on purpose because I'm so fucking Sigma. And all right, I'm on the phone now because my iPad died. Let's see if I can make this horizontal. All right, does that work? Perfect. So, oh my God, I'm fucking shredded. Oh my God, who let me give this big? But basically, let me hit this cigarette. Whoopsies. Okay, so drink some milk. let me pick up where I left off. Why is it that people that eat carbohydrates all day end up fat and obese? All right? We're going to fucking go Jew mode on the whiteboard right now, okay? Boom, line down the middle. Tons of fat. This is about diet. When you're eating tons of fat, your body has an abundance of fat, okay? Your body is going to say, oh, if I'm eating fat every single day and I have tons of fat all the time, I'm not going to need to like frantically pack in a bunch of fat on my fat stores because I think I'm going to starve, right? If you eat carbs all day, when you eat carbs all day, your brain is like, oh, I'm always going to have carbs. Carbs are going to be here forever. Let's optimize by getting rid of those carbs and try to conserve as much fat as possible. The more carbohydrates you eat, the bigger your fat stores are. Fat is stored energy. So if you look at a man like me, I was fucking shredded. I put sticks of butter on top of my steak. I cut open a potato after I bake it, put it like this, put a bunch of butter on top. I fucking eat bread with butter. I eat shitloads of milk, fucking eggs every day, animal fat. One day I looked up on the internet and it said, warning, eggs are high in cholesterol, which is bad for you. And I ate 18 eggs for dinner that night. I cracked 18 eggs into a baking sheet and put it in the oven like I was baking cookies, and I ate all of them. Resisting following the rules increases testosterone. Submitting to somebody who has a will that is weaker than you is going to decrease your testosterone. As an example, I received a legal notice today. It's like, you have an unpaid ticket. The Massachusetts Department of fucking Jewish Goyslav fucking homosexuality has decided you owe this much money for a ticket and you have to pay it by tomorrow or else you will be prosecuted. And I was like, haha, edit, delete. Because following rules decreases your testosterone. I can't even count the number of times. I live in Florida, a very conservative state. I can't even count the number of times I've pulled up in the fucking car, parked in the handicap spot, get out, go in the store, speed walk straight to the steak aisle, past all of these fucking carbohydrate maxers, these fucking obesity maxers, and just like, it's so easy to become the most powerful human on this fucking planet if you just do the exact opposite of what they tell you, right? They say, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Oh, carbs are the bottom of the food chain. Carbs are the base of the food pyramid. You should eat lots of carbs. And I'm like, who benefits? Who? What group of people benefit when you eat tons of carbs all day and it slows your brain down and it slows down your breathing and it causes disease? Did you know that cancer is based off of carbohydrates and sugar? Did you know that ADHD and autism in children is excess sugar in the brain? Look it up. ADHD and autism is excess sugar. You may tell me, oh, you look pretty autistic, bro. You're fucking crazy schizo. And I'm like, correct. But my muscles are bigger than you, so my opinion is correct. So basically, tons of fat, your body says, we don't need more fat. Let's get rid of it. And like, look at me. I eat fucking steak and eggs and animal fat and fucking butter and like milk and like I eat as much saturated fat as possible and I fucking shred it, okay? Tons of fat means get rid of fat. Get rid of fat, okay? Carbs all day pretty much just means conserve fat. Do you understand? So, I'm not saying you have to be like me. If you don't want to be tan and beautiful and shredded and have a crazy head of hair because you never shampoo your hair ever, and the only products that go on your skin are products you can eat, like beef tallow or olive oil or whatever the fuck. If you want to be as dehydrated as possible and empty and weak, then eat carbohydrates all day. Think about the word carbohydrate. They're supposed to hydrate you. Why do people that eat fucking sugar and carbs all day, why do they look so empty and fucking tired? And I'm just like,
it just made me intolerable. I was like, I physically cannot eat carbs during the day. I'll walk through the store fasting, 12 hours of fasting, hundreds of push-ups, 10 to 15 coffees, and I'll be speed walking fucking to the milk aisle, to the egg aisle, and I'll be fucking like dodging people. And it's like, when you have that much aura, that much testosterone, people will just part for you like the Red Sea, like fucking Moses parting the sea. And it's just like, bro, the whole world stands aside for the man who knows where he is going. Do you understand? Asking for help is fucking gay, bro. Like, the Jewish mindset is pretty much, tell me what to think. How can I avoid loss? How can I minimize losing? How can I guarantee I just get one increase? And it's just like, it's fucking gay, bro. I'm one of those guys that, like, one day I got a $4,000 paycheck and I wasted as much money as possible. I was buying spring water out of glass bottles. I was buying raw milk. I was buying Wagyu steaks. I was buying fucking beef organs and bones and crazy shit at the farm. And, like, the greater the challenge, the greater the glory. Do you understand? I need some fucking milk. But back to my point. Let me lock in right now. Oh my god, I'm fucking huge. So, how I got everything I wanted. First, you have to figure out what you want. Me, I'm white. I grew up playing sports as an athlete. I wanted to be shredded. I feel incredibly fulfilled. I do whatever the fuck I want every single second of every day, okay? I'm not lying. I don't look like a liar. And the more fat you eat, the more your body is going to tell it, oh, I have lots of fat. I don't really need any more. Let's optimize for getting rid of fat, right? Exactly. The fastest animals in the wild animals are like leopards, cheetahs, tigers, lions. Those are the fastest animals. The slowest animals, like fucking cows, fucking pandas, fucking shit like that, they graze all day, constantly eating, constantly consuming carbs. And it's just like, if you want to be fat and globulous and obese with a big belly, from the second you wake up, from the second you go to sleep, eat carbs the whole day. It's gonna make you fat. That's what they do. That's the purpose, right? So if you want to be extremely shredded like me, you can just drink like 10 coffees and do 100 or 200 push-ups for the first like 6 hours of your day to balance out the caffeine levels, so all the caffeine goes to your muscles and you stay shredded. And then have your first meal of the day be steak or eggs or bacon or avocado or cheese or some shit like that. And it's like, literally, I wake up, I start drinking coffee, I'll eat a lemon, I'll drink some Fire Blood, which is taste supplement. It tastes horrible, but it's great for you. And then I will just do more coffee, more push-ups, more stress, more fucking fighting the Matrix, more racism. I'll type as much racist shit I can on Twitter. I'll fucking open my phone, I'll film a video, I'll fucking move as fast as possible. Because when you have coffee in your veins and no carbohydrates, your body speeds up. That's why it's called fasting. You fucking homosexual retard. That's why it's called fasting. I'm gonna need another cigarette to slow me down. Oh my god. But basically, the only reason I'm making this video is because how I got everything I wanted. And the answer is, do the opposite of what they tell you. Do the opposite of what they want. Do the opposite of what they want. The Jews love it when you are tired, your belly is full, you're asleep, you're sick, your mind is empty. They want your mind empty and your belly full. Do you understand? And you may look at me and you say, well, this guy, sure, he has big muscles, but he's not the most beautiful man. You know, look at him. He's lost a lot of, he has a receding gum line because he's been smoking. He has all this, but it's like, I'd rather be shredded and extremely powerful and have high energy levels every single second of every day than just be like, have a big fat belly and be average. I would rather people call me crazy. I would rather people look at me like I'm insane than just look at me like I'm average. That's the choice that I made. And that's because I was extremely insecure as a child. I started doing tons of drugs, smoking tons of weed, doing tons of psychedelics. I wasted a lot of my youth. I wasted tons of my time. For a long time, I believed the delusion that I did not have control. And yes, we only have control to a degree. You know, if you wake up and your phone is right next to you and there's notifications going off, you don't really have that much control. You're probably going to pick it up and start scrolling, you know? We are human. But what if you move to Florida, become as delusional as possible, and prove yourself right? You understand?